Hello, friends, and welcome to Bottled and Bond, a discussion of the James Bond movies and lore alongside spirited companions. I am Mike Scott, and I have been watching James Bond movies for nearly 30 years, but have never really taken a deep dive into the history and lore of this film franchise. So, alongside my friend Charlie, we are going to delve into each of the 25 Eon produced movies. During this episode, we will be enjoying a beverage or two, or five, that would pair nicely with the movie. Today, we will be discussing the 25th movie in the franchise, 2021's No Time to Die. So find your cigarette case, prepare your favorite cocktail, shaken not stirred of course, and leave your hat at the door while we ponder this question. What the hell are we supposed to do now? This is episode 0025, No Time to Die. Charlie, welcome.
Thank you, Mike.
What are we going to do now? We're done. We'll never see each other again after today.
I don't know. This is it's bittersweet, Mike.
Yeah.
Because I somehow never imagined that we'd get all the way through this.
I know, it's pretty crazy.
And now that we have, I'm very sad. So it's good that our first drink is bitter.
Yeah, I think we're going to call MI6 to just blow up the house as soon as we finish recording and as soon as I post it. And, we'll go out in a blaze of glory.
So. We should. We really should. We've saved the world.
Yes. As I said in my newly recorded intro, we have 5 companion beverages today.
Oh
we're going to go all out.
I guess we are.
We have something called...
We better make this episode last a while.
Yeah. We have something called Fernet Branca, which apparently is some sort of bitter digestif or something.
Yeah, something like that.
We have Red Stripe. We have something called a vodka martini, shaken not stirred.
Wait, does that play a part in these movies?
We're going to have a cask and tonic with Harahorn Norwegian gin.
I have no idea what that is. Well, I know what gin is. I didn't know they made it in Norway. That'll be interesting.
And we're going to have a Balvenie Doublewood 12 to toast Daniel Craig.
Ah.
We have 2 listener comments today.
Oh, wow.
First one, I wanted to read an email from Thomas, a good friend of the show, a good friend in my VHS village.
Okay.
He's a big Bond fan. He's also a big Kurt Vonnegut fan.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we have a lot of chats. Hey, Mike and Charlie, big fan of the pod. Emailing regarding the question, what does C stand for in the Spectre episode?
Yes.
In our world, C is the head of MI6. This is a long tradition dating back to the original head of the Secret Intelligence Services in the UK, signing orders in green ink with C. His name, and this you couldn't get more of a British name than this. His name was Mansfield Smith Cumming.
Yes.
This code name is, directly because of Cumming, the name for control. In the John Le Carre novels, especially Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. I have no source, but I think the C in the film is a reference and nod to this, but also Bond's way of calling him the C word.
Interesting.
That the cowards refuse to put in the movie.
So M is an Ian Fleming thing, and C is like the real thing. Oh, I like that.
Great show, Thomas.
Wow. Thank you, Thomas.
We now have a very long letter from somebody by the name of Lady Cannonball, who took umbrage with my ranking of Spectre.
Oh. Because, see, I thought Spectre was pretty good. Like, you were unwilling to forgive it for the whole...
The brother thing.
The brother thing,
Was the brother
which
thing.
was unnecessary.
Yeah.
But still, I really enjoyed the movie. Anyway, go ahead.
Let's see if I can get through this easily. This is in the format of Bridgerton. I'm not going to try to do a British accent, though. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, of the little, like, newspaper thing that the girl publishes.
Sure.
Have you seen it?
I've seen one episode.
Yeah. So the girl secretly goes around in society and then publishes to this little, like, gossip paper all the gossip about all these super rich people.
No. Dearest readers, it would seem our beloved Mr. Bond has once again taken to the continent and the globe, armed with little more than charm, a penchant for danger, and an extraordinary wardrobe. Spectre opens with a flourish most daring, a tracking shot through the Day of the Dead festivities in Mexico City, a sequence so perfectly choreographed and audacious that one can scarcely breathe for excitement, much less fault it. Truly, one might call it espionage at its most cinematic. I don't disagree with that one. I thought the Day of the Dead opening was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
The acting is equally remarkable. Mr. Daniel Craig delivers a Bond at once steely and vulnerable, a gentleman forced to navigate the cruel whims of both love and peril. Christoph Waltz as the inimitable Blofeld, I'm very proud I got that word right on the
Yeah,
first
that was
try,
good. I know.
brings a menace both cerebral and intimate, ensuring that every interaction is a duel of intellects and egos.
I
Visually,
mean, he is creepy.
he is.
He's great
It was
at acting
perfect
creepy.
casting,
Yeah.
honestly. Visually, the film delights at every turn, from the snow-clad peaks of Austria to the shadowed streets of Rome. The cinematography is nothing short of a painter's reverie, each frame suffused with elegance, danger, and tension. And yet, it is not all spectacle. Spectre dares to probe deeper into the costs of our hero's vocation. One feels ever so keenly the emotional toll of espionage and the consequences of a life lived in perpetual peril. Bond's victories never come without their shadows.
Wow.
2 pages. Of course, one must concede that when measured against Skyfall, arguably the finest Bond offering to date, false, Spectre falls ever so slightly short. Its emotional resonance, while substantial, does not quite reach the heights of loyalty, legacy, and mortality explored in its predecessor. Nonetheless, it remains a triumph, a sophisticated ballet of intrigue, beauty, and peril that reminds us why Bond continues to enthrall generations. In sum, dear readers, while perfection may elude even the most gifted spy, Spectre dazzles with its audacity, its elegance, and its heart. And that, in the world of high stakes and higher fashion, is no small feat. Yours truly, Lady Cannonball.
Very nice.
That was nice. I'm very proud. That's the first time I read it. I didn't read it before.
Oh, really? You didn't read it beforehand? No, that's good. Yeah, you got all the words right.
I did. I got them all right.
And actually, my wife would agree with her. My wife really enjoyed Spectre a lot.
Really?
Yeah, she liked it
surprised.
a lot. I think if you don't think too hard about it,
Yeah.
about that one little piece,
Yeah.
like it's just very entertaining. Lots of good Bond stuff happens, It's good.
I'll have a lot of
Except that-
thoughts at the end of this, just talking about all of the Bonds in general and the future and everything. So,
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're doing this.
I mean, we got 4 more hours here, so I guess we should get started with news.
All right. Well, when's the
We'll be
first-
there soon.
Okay.
We'll be at the companion beverage soon.
Okay.
Not real news, but a big rumor. Jacob Elordi talk is heating up. So we're thinking this might be the next Bond. He's currently in Wuthering Heights. He's in a movie called Saltburn.
He's in Wuthering Heights in quotation marks.
Right. He's in Euphoria.
Oh.
You saw
okay.
that, didn't you?
I've not seen
Oh,
it.
you haven't seen
No.
it yet. No.
I mean, I've heard things.
So I'm all for it. I mean, some people are knocking because he's 6'5", and yeah, he's tall. But I mean, come on, we're talking about a movie here. They'll figure it out. So
I just want more movies,
I know.
right?
Yeah.
Cast whoever you want. Make
Right.
some more.
plot summary. All right, I've done this before, but I had to do it for this one. Knowing you only live twice, Bond thinks he will die another day, retiring to spend the rest of his life with Madeline. After an explosive betrayal, Bond ditches Madeline and moves to Jamaica, where he is recruited by Felix Leiter to find a missing scientist. Bond watches Spectre get destroyed, sees Leiter killed by a CIA traitor, and ultimately gets his license to kill by going back on Her Majesty's Secret Service. He uncovers a plot to destroy the world using Project Heracles, and instead of saying live and let die, he dies to let live. No Time to Die. One movie from each of them. I didn't do
Nice.
all of the movies, obviously.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can't write that much.
Our cast. Daniel Craig is James Bond. 5th of 5 appearances, allegedly.
Wait, you sure he's not going to be back?
He come back as a Force ghost like in Star Wars. Rami Malek as Safin. I'm not going to try to pronounce his first name. It sounds kind of like Lucifer, which makes sense.
Lucifer, I thought
Lucifer,
they said.
sure.
Yeah.
Leah Seydoux as Madeline Swan, 2nd of 2 appearances. Lashana Lynch as Nomi /007.
Yeah, how about that?
Ben Whishaw as Q, third of 3 appearances. Naomi Harris as Moneypenny, third of 3 appearances. Jeffrey Wright as Felix Leiter, third of 3 appearances.
He's not coming back.
Maybe they'll bring him back as a villain.
Right,
that would be awesome.
That would be.
Christoph Waltz as Ernst Stavro Blofeld, second of 2 appearances. Ray Fiennes as M, third of 3 appearances. Rory Kinnear as Bill Tanner, fourth of 4 appearances. Anna de Armas as Paloma. David Denchik as Valdo Oberchev. Billy Magnuson as Logan Ash. And Dali Bensala as Primo. The Crew, directed by Kari Joji Fukunaga. Screenplay by Neil Purvis, Robert Wade, Kari Joji Fukunaga, Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Right?
Fleabag with a writing credit.
Yeah, I mean, you just wouldn't have necessarily put those two together. I read that. I was fascinated. I like her stuff, so.
Yeah. Music by Hans Zimmer. What a name. Hans Zimmer's pretty big.
But did he do any other Bond movie?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
We must have been talking about him about something else.
Cinematography by Linus Sandgren. Production design by Mark Tildesley. Theme song, No Time to Die by Billie Eilish. Written by Billie Eilish and Phineas O'Connell.
Okay. I know nothing about Billie Eilish.
Mm-hmm.
I probably couldn't name one song she's ever done. Oh, she did some jealous guy thing or something. Or
Bad Guy.
Song. Bad Guy.
Yes.
There you go. That's the only thing I know. So that's like a weirdly affected song.
Yeah.
She really sang. I liked this theme song a lot more than I thought I was going to. Especially in the title sequence. I really liked it. I thought it was good.
It's growing on me.
Yeah.
I don't understand the appeal of her in general. I think she whisper sings, and that kind of bothers me.
Yeah.
But the song has been growing on me. I've been listening to all of the theme songs for the past couple days, and it's pretty good. The music that goes with it's really good, and the music
that goes with it's good. I think the whisper singing worked for this title sequence during the title sequence, and it's a real intimate sound, and we're getting an intimate type movie with lots of emotions and things like that.
Yeah.
So I liked it a lot more than I thought I would, and I sort of thought she can actually kind of sing, right, without her voice being affected.
Congratulations, you are now the oldest Billie Eilish fan in the world.
Maybe, yeah.
Release details. World premiere, September 28th, 2021, at the Royal Albert Hall. Still haven't figured out how many holes it takes.
No, I know. British listeners, please write in and tell us.
UK release, September 30th, 2021. US release, October 8th, 2021. Budget, adjusted for inflation, $351.6 million.
Ooh, boy.
Worldwide box office, adjusted for inflation, $760 million. Good for 12th out of 25. I will say, I think COVID was definitely harmed this one.
Probably. And that's a lot of money they spent on this thing.
Yeah. And they only made twice as much as they spent.
Yeah.
What a failure.
I know, right?
So this was your
Poor
first
guys.
viewing this last couple weeks, right?
It was. I
Wow.
had never seen it before. Unfortunately, just because it's the type of thing you can't not hear about, I knew what happened. Although, it's funny. My wife had no idea. But I have my ear to the ground on these things,
Right.
Mike.
No.
And so when it first came out, I had heard almost immediately that he dies.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for people listening to this podcast.
I watched it. I think I watched it in 2021. It was a couple months after it was released in theaters. I don't think it was in theaters very long because I watched it in
Those are weird times,
it was.
Mike.
I watched it in
Weird
December
times.
and it came out in October.
Yeah. Weird times.
Let's get going with the scene by scene breakdown.
All right.
We start off with the gun barrel scene with no blood when he shoots the gun. That was
I
interesting.
was still glad they did it.
Yeah.
It's a classic. You got to do it.
We then go to, I wrote Austria. I believe this is actually Norway because this is the same house from later in the movie, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
So
gotta
we'll
be
say
the
we'll
same
say
house.
that's Norway.
Got to be the same house. Yes.
A mysterious man approaches a young Madeline Swan's home. Swan brings her mom some medicine. Mom's clearly been on the sauce. She passes out.
Not just sauce. I mean, there's all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff scattered in that room.
As she cleans up her mom's mess, she sees the mysterious man approaching, attempts to get into her father's locked room. I do wish my daughter would clean up the carpet when I spill my whiskey everywhere, though.
I know, right? She goes and sops it up.
Yeah. The mysterious man fires his gun, approaches the mom, and asks for Mr. White. She says he's not at home, so he kills her.
I said, mask guy / lady kills drunk wife.
Yes.
I didn't know who it was yet.
Madeline is hiding under the bed while the man searches for her. Her cell phone rings, which is weird because were there cell phones then?
Well, when is then? Right, okay.
I guess it would have been mid-90s, and I guess they were in like Norway. You have Nokia over there.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I read
maybe it was a cordless phone.
I read conflicting accounts of when people thought that was based on various things that were in the scene. But yeah, I mean, it was probably 20 years before the current time of this movie or something.
Anyway, the phone rings. This mysterious guy turns, and then Madeline puts like 8 bullets into him. She drags him outside.
Except, does she? She puts bullets in him.
Yeah.
He falls off the balcony of the house.
Uh-huh.
She drags him outside, and apparently he's perfectly fine. Did he have a bulletproof vest on or something? That's all I can come up with. But still, falling off that thing, I mean, you wouldn't be fine.
Yeah.
But, okay.
So she's running across the ice while he's pursuing her, and then the ice cracks, and she falls in. And we see him looking down at her, and he starts to shoot. But shooting, he's not shooting her, he's shooting the ice, and pulls her out of the ice. And I really like this shot. Her coming out of the ice, and then it's Madeline Swan as an adult coming out of the water at the beach.
Yeah, that was good.
Matera, Italy. Go ahead.
Why doesn't he fall through the ice? If a tiny, tiny little girl who weighs 25 pounds or whatever little girls weigh, why does this grown man not fall through the ice?
Who also just shot all
Who
the
also
ice.
just shoots the ice. Why doesn't he fall through?
I don't know.
By the way, Mike, first of all, don't go out on the ice.
Yeah.
Second of all, the whole problem, as you see when you go through the ice, is you can't figure out where to get back up.
Yeah.
Which is what the problem she had. Third of all, lie down so you distribute your weight.
Yes.
And you're not like having all your weight on your feet. But first, don't go out there.
Don't go out there. So we're now present day on this beach in Matera, Italy, and this is where we will have our Fernet Branca.
All right.
We are back. We have our Fernet Branca poured.
It's very dark.
Charlie loves the smell of it. It is a very dark. It's
I don't even know what
little viscous.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say it smells like.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That is disgusting. I do not like that at all.
I don't even know what that taste is.
You like this, don't you?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's bitter.
It's very
angry.
Bitter. It is
old.
Yes. Yes.
It's Charlie.
Very traditional.
Oh, man. I think I might like that less than that one you have all the time now, Campari.
Yeah.
You love your Campari now.
How do you feel compared to the Jeppson's Malort?
It's better than Jeppson's Malort. Nothing will ever top Jeppson's Malort, I don't think. But it's kind of in that vein, honestly.
It is, because it is kind of medicine-y. I think the bitterness probably puts it in there. I don't even know how to describe the taste. It's all almost menthol-y in your mouth.
It is.
You know?
Because we went and got this together, they had a menthol version there.
Yeah.
That
what kind of makes sense now, I guess. Like maybe there must already be something in it that makes it kind of like that, and then they probably put more of that in to play it up for people who really enjoy this.
Not impressed. Not impressed.
Oh, Italians. So far, you're not too big on the Italy stuff, because the Campari's from Italy too, right? So you seem like, have we had anything else from Italy? Probably not.
Creme de cacao? No, that's Switzerland.
Swiss.
Yeah. I think we had an Italian
Swiss,
wine.
They know how to make stuff.
Yeah, we had a wine that was decent.
Did we? Okay. I'll buy that.
We see Bond eyeing Madeline from the rocks. Driving on the road later, Madeline asks if he can go faster. Bond responds, "We don't need to go faster. We have all the time in the world." I have notes here. We're gonna do a Kleenex count. This is Kleenex count number 1.
I mean, he's in the car even, right?
Yeah.
Isn't he in the DB5 during this?
Is.
The same one his wife died in.
We have all the time in the world.
Man.
Did you hear the On Her Majesty's Secret Service music playing during that scene?
I definitely did. Yeah, that was good. I mean, that that's a good throwback, right?
It really is.
And it's very sad. The whole thing is sad. Sad, sad, sad.
They approach their hotel as villagers are outside sending their secrets into the air. They have these little pieces of paper. They're lighting them on fire and throwing them in the air so they burn up.
We should probably do that at the end of this episode. We should burn up some secrets and various things.
Your secret being that Diamonds Are Forever is actually your favorite movie, but you didn't want to be embarrassed and have it ranked so much higher than me.
You know, what I will say about that is I actually kind of like all the movies except for Casino Royale 67.
Yeah.
I would watch any of them willingly.
I mean, I would
you
even
know what I
watch
mean?
Diamonds Are
Like
Forever.
it's I know we've ranked these things, but like it's kind of like watching the Olympics that are going on right now and like the winning bobsled being like, 0.5 seconds in front of the bobsled in 15th place or whatever. Like,
speaking of that, did you watch the women's hockey?
No, I heard it was very good.
That was awesome. We do get slap and tickle number one here with Madeline. Afterwards, Bond is asking her about where she went in the water. She says she will tell if Bond tells her about Vesper. Swan says Bond needs to let Vesper go.
Gotta let her go.
So Swan writes something on a piece of paper, lights it on fire out on the balcony. The next morning, Bond kisses Swan goodbye and goes to make his final peace with Vesper.
Okay. We had a very in-depth discussion in our house because they say that she's buried at the Acropolis. And I'm like, okay, well, they're not in Greece, are they?
Maybe
People
it's
are
a different
speaking
Acropolis.
Italian. It is.
There you go.
Acropolis, I mean, just
You assume Greek.
Well, the word sounds pretty Greek, doesn't it? Acropolis?
It is Greek, yeah.
Yeah, and the Greek one is the Acropolis. But apparently there's more than one Acropolis, and there are several different places called Acropolis. And I want to tell you, it's one of those things where you start typing the question and Google knew before my wife finished typing it exactly what she was going to ask.
That's funny.
And there are multiple places called the Acropolis.
I mean, when I lived on the South Side, I went to a Greek restaurant all the time that was called the Acropolis.
Right? Exactly, right? It's their big thing in Athens or whatever, right?
Bond meets a man at a cemetery. They walk to a crypt where Vesper Lynd is interred. And Bond says, I miss you. Bond burns a secret, which says, what did the secret say? It said, forgive me. He wrote down, forgive me, and then he lit it on fire. He finds a card on the ground with the Spectre logo, and then all of a sudden...
That can't be good.
No, all of a sudden the crypt explodes. So Bond, dazed, calls Madeline, but she doesn't answer.
So I wrote down, finally a movie where someone loses their hearing during an explosion. Did you notice? Like they play the ringing in his ears. Like seriously, this would happen all the time.
Oh yeah.
Even the gunshots, right? People are firing these machine guns. Do you know how loud those things are, Mike? You would have ringing in your ears like crazy. Yeah. So I appreciated that, although of course he gains it back within like 2 minutes. Sure. But still, I appreciated it. So I'm just noting my appreciation.
Yeah. So he's running back now. He spots the kid that took him to the crypt, who looks behind him, and we see a Maserati trying to run him down.
Not just any Maserati. Do you know what model of Maserati it was?
No.
It was the Maserati Quattroporte, which is a car that we used to have in the United States. Like back in the 70s and 80s, we had the Quattroporte. Do you know what Quattroporte stands for?
4 doors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's quite an inventive, imaginative name, right? But I guess compared to every other Maserati that was made, they're probably like, oh, this is the 4-door one.
Right. So we see another man on a motorcycle. I think this might have been Marty Feldman. Oh, no, it was just this guy named Primo that has this big fake eye.
I wrote, motorcycle guy has funky eyes.
Bond escapes over the side of the bridge, dangling from the bridge. He finds the man... Maybe Sammy Davis Jr. on the bike? Oh, wait, no, right. It's Primo. Knocks him out, and his fake eye falls out.
I really hate this guy.
Yeah. Bond takes the bike, does an amazing jump up the staircase. That staircase jump is awesome.
That is so cool.
Yeah. Arriving back at the hotel, the concierge tells Bond the baggage is already downstairs per his wife's instructions.
Yeah, you notice his hearing is back. His hearing is totally fine now.
Yeah. He confronts Swan, asks her how Spectre knew he was there, and then they leave in the DB5. Madeline says, "There's something I need to tell you," and Bond replies, "I bet there is." At this point, Bond's pissed. He thinks that she betrayed him.
Well, because do you remember what Funky Eye Guy said to Bond? He said, She's a daughter of Spectre.
Yes.
She's a daughter. Just remember, she's the daughter of Spectre.
Yeah. So the Maserati and motorcycle are pursuing the DB5 as Madeline receives a call with the Spectre logo on it. Blofeld is calling.
Yeah, it's not a good sign when your girlfriend gets a call with the Spectre logo on the call, right? Like it's in her address book with the Spectre logo, right?
Yeah. Blofeld is calling, talking about Madeline's sacrifice. We then see Bond drop some mines from the car and then spins around in the streets. He gets T-boned by some church bells, and then he gets surrounded by henchmen who begin firing on the vehicle. Glad those windows are super bulletproof.
You know, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed the scene, and he's shooting the one place, and Bond is so despondent that he's not even doing anything about it. Like, he's ready to give up because he just feels like his woman betrayed him, and he's ready to give up, and he won't even look at her or he won't speak. And when the window is getting shot, like little shards of the window start breaking off, and you can tell like he's loosening it up, and Bond isn't going to do anything about it. He's just going to let him be killed.
Madeline's begging him to do something. Finally, he kicks it into gear. He kicks himself into gear, activates the machine gun headlights, and then spins round, right, round like a record baby, right, round, 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 and just shoots at all the henchmen.
Okay. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It was super
very
awesome.
cool.
Where he spins that car around and shoots them and then escapes. Pretty awesome.
They make their escape. They arrive at a train station. Bond then puts Madeline on a train, sends her away from him.
I mean, it's pretty heavy scene, right?
It is.
I mean, he puts her on there, and she says something about, when will I see you? And he says, "You'll never see me again."
You'll never see me again.
Wow.
That
hurts.
This was the longest pre-credits scene.
Was it? What was before that? We had one other one.
It was
it a Brosnan
It was
one?
the second Brosnan. I think it was Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah. Okay.
No Time to Die by Billie Eilish, and we already talked about this. And, I actually put a note in here. This is where I really sound like an oldie when I say I simply do not get the appeal of Billie Eilish. I still don't get the overall appeal, but like I said, I did kind of come around to the song, too.
Well, maybe part of the reason I like her is that I haven't ever heard anything she's done. Yeah. This doesn't sound like anything to me except this Bond song. Right. And I also thought that the graphics in the opening credits were really good. Yeah. No naked ladies. But they had like the DNA strands made out of guns that were like shooting at each other that made it look like DNA. Yeah. Because of the whole DNA targeting thing. They had like the weird DNA sequences that kind of made the outlines of the people's faces. Yes. And I thought that the song and the words, I thought the song were written so that the words of the song fit the movie.
They did
and everything
very much
pretty
fit
well.
the movie.
I thought they did a good job writing the song.
We're now 5 years later in London. We see 3 people infiltrating a scientific lab. It's actually more than 3.
Was it Batman?
It was not.
Because it looked like Batman climbing down the building with the bat rope, sideways.
Yeah. We have some scientists inside talking about missing smallpox virus. There's a guy by the name of Valdo getting his lunch, which says it has smallpox on it.
Yeah.
So he's all pissed about that.
Obviously, he gets hazed in this office quite a bit, it seems.
He then gets a call from someone named Safin who says that Spectre is coming. So with these infiltrators, they're Spectre agents. They're making their way through the building, start killing everybody. Safin then tells Valdo to swallow this storage vice containing an encrypted file.
What should I do with it? Swallow it.
The lights go out. The infiltrators begin shooting.
Hang on.
Yes.
He's got his back turned so the other people can't quite tell what he's talking about. And he eats the thing real fast. And then he laughs and goes, yes, I like animals, as he hangs up the phone. So one little piece of trivia that I did read is he was supposed to have a super small part in the movie. Like, this might have been it.
Really?
And they thought he was so funny that they wrote a bigger part for him so that he could be around more. And he was pretty funny.
He was funny.
He definitely had his moments of being like just the
Really the only comic
Goofy
relief
guy.
of this movie, pretty much.
So I thought that worked to have him in there.
One of the people that infiltrated is the one-eyed man again. So Valdo and another scientist are forced to go extract something from a freezer that I'm sure is totally harmless. I mean,
well, these guys were like shooting. Don't you think it's a bad idea to like shoot bullets in a biolab? Like just
probably
for, if I'm breaking into a biolab, kind of like in an airplane, I'm going to try not to like shoot.
Right. They get whatever it is. The one-armed man, one-armed. I've watched too much Fugitive. We'll call him Primo. Primo kills Valdo's colleague. Then they escape the facility, which is now in lockdown. Valdo has this harness put on as the infiltrators drop a very cool rocket down the elevator shaft that spits out all these little red globes of light.
Yeah.
Valdo is then thrown down the shaft. He's just falling, but then he's saved at the bottom when all these little red lights turn green and stop his descent.
And he goes, "Oh, magnets!"
The lab then blows up. We then go to see Moneypenny, who's heading to M's office. They watch video of the infiltration of the lab. Moneypenny asks about the Heracles project. M says the explosion was a gas leak and that he'll handle it. Then he asks for 007. We now go to Bond on a boat, docking at his flat in Jamaica.
You know what's funny? The minute they show him on the boat, because Becky's like, "Where is Bond?" She goes, "Oh, he's gone fishing." And then he gets off that boat carrying all these fish.
Yes. Is this the Goldeneye estate by any chance? I wonder.
I might be.
Dinner will be red snapper with a side of Delicado cigars. So Bond clearly knows that Leiter's somewhere around because that's Leiter's favorite cigar.
Oh, okay.
Bond showers, gets ready to leave. Do you brush your teeth while showering?
I do not, nor do I shower outside.
Yeah. That's not true. I've seen that. That's not a pretty sight. Bond drives into town in his Land Rover Series 3 and is being pursued. He cuts off the follower. It ends up being Felix and some dork named Logan Ash.
I wrote, "Nerd smiling at Bond."
Bond and Felix are then having some drinks at a club, playing some sort of game with coins. Logan asks Bond about Valdo, and this is where we're going to stop and have our second drink, our Jamaica-influenced drink.
Okay.
Hooray, beer.
All right.
We are back with our red stripe. Right. I haven't had a red stripe in a while. Let me pop open the bottle here.
And for those of you who know Mike, he's going to drink this beer right straight from the bottle, not in a special Jamaica-style beer glass. Because he has a beer glass for just about any style you can think of.
It's true. It's a true statement.
But he's drinking this right out of the bottle. I don't even know what to think.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I mean, it's red stripe. It's beer.
It is red stripe. It definitely tastes like red stripe.
Yeah. Jamaican lager beer, 4.7 alcohol by volume.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's beer, all right.
Yeah. So we're at this club. Bond and Felix are chit-chatting. Bond goes to the bar, runs into a lovely lady as he heads there. I'm sure we'll never see her again.
No, this is just a chance encounter.
Bond actually orders a scotch and then talks with Felix about helping to hunt down Valdo and Spectre. And Bond quips, "Where did you find the Book of Mormon?"
Yeah, that was pretty good.
As Bond leaves, we see the one-eyed man again. Unable to start his car, the mysterious lady from earlier offers to give Bond a ride on her little Vespa scooter. I assume it was a Vespa scooter. I assume all of those are Vespas.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
This lady's name...
I thought this was a bad idea. Like, you think if you're Bond, like, shouldn't you be a little more worried that she shows up at the exact right time?
Yeah. Maybe he knew a little bit. Who knows? The lady's name is Nomi. This is Lashana Lynch, who I also know from the movie Captain Marvel. They arrive at Bond's flat. Bond pours himself a drink as Nomi compliments him on his nice house. It is a perfectly formed house, like Bond's ass. I actually thought she said nice ass the first time I watched this.
Nice.
Nomi heads to the bedroom, takes off her wig, introduces herself as a 00. Bond continues pouring drinks throughout the house as Nomi busts his chops, tells him that Vardo is off limits. Nomi then reveals that she is, in fact, 007. I remember when the news leaked about that, where they said that 007 was going to be a woman.
See, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
I did. Here's my thoughts. First of all, she didn't have to disguise herself if he's never seen her before and doesn't know who she is. But in any case, I
don't
honestly
think she was disguising herself. That's she was wearing
maybe
a weave.
she just wears a wig.
Yes.
Okay. If you say so. I found the little back and forth between her and Bond to be irritating.
Really?
Myself. I thought it was unnecessary. Like, why would she be a jerk to him?
Well, she's young. Bond's a legend.
Yeah.
Because Bond says to call
then
him
you should-
Commander Bond.
Yeah, but...
Yeah.
No, he just says, I'm Commander Bond, but I'm sure you know that. But
Yeah.
I would think if you're young, you'd have reverence for this guy who was 007 before you and be glad that you're meeting him.
I mean, I don't have any reverence for you. So.
Yeah.
Bond does.
I just that part actually irritated me, and I was glad when it was over.
When she says she's 007, Bond says it's just a number.
Yeah.
We go back to MI6, where M and Tanner are meeting with Q. Bond calls M because 007 says that he needs to talk to M directly himself. So Bond calls M, asks about Vardo Uberchev. Is it Vardo or Valdo?
Did you notice that he was doing a Scottish accent on the phone?
Was he?
Yes.
I did not.
He was doing like a Connery impression when he talked to M. It was hilarious.
Wow, I did
Yeah,
not.
he does like a little Connery impression when he first starts talking to M. It was kind of funny.
That's funny. Sorry, it is Valdo, not Vardo. I
Okay.
typed it wrong on one of them. That he was kept on the payroll and knows the lab heist was Spectre. M tells Tanner to get Blofeld on the line. Blofeld, they put him on video. He clearly looks like he's lost his mind in his cell. The next morning, Bond calls Felix, says he's in. Felix wants him to meet a young lady in Santiago, Cuba. So Bond arrives in Cuba.
Like Bond sailed there by himself?
That's my question. Did he sail the
did
whole
he?
way? I looked it
I
up.
think he must have.
It's 18 hours if he did that.
Of sailing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess 18 hours of sailing, maybe that's not that much. I
Yeah.
guess it's less than a day, but I guess he did.
He goes to a bar. Young lady is sipping a soda at the bar. Her name is Paloma. This is Kleenex number 2. No, wait, sorry. No, this
And I noticed they're still skimping on the bra budget for the movie,
yeah.
like the last one.
This is Anna de Armas, who was also in Knives Out with Daniel Craig. Did you know that? That's the girl from Knives Out.
In fact, I read that he recommended her for the film because they had acted on it before this movie, and he liked acting with her or something. She was pretty good.
We'll get there. She takes him to this wine cellar. He thinks she's taking him to bed or something. Who knows? Because Paloma, she begins taking off his shirt, and he's like, shouldn't we get to know each other first? And she gives him a look like, you are a creepy old man.
I know, right?
It was pretty funny. It's a tuxedo. Bond puts on his tuxedo. He's worried about Paloma's inexperience. That night, they arrive at a mansion and head to the bar. Should we have done a drink count for this movie? Because Bond does not seem to stop drinking in this movie.
I know, right? I mean, he drinks a lot just in this whole scene.
Yeah. And Bond orders his vodka martini, which actually was sooner than I thought it was going to be.
I know, we're
So
going to have to take a
we're
little
gonna
pause
Take
here.
a little pause, and we're going to get our next companion beverage, our vodka
all right.
martini. We are back with our vodka martini, shaken, not stirred.
You know what
Cheers.
I'll say about that red stripe that we had?
Yeah.
Very quickly. If I lived in Jamaica and it was super hot and sweaty all the time, it's very refreshing.
Very much
Very
so.
light and refreshing.
It's good stuff.
It's a martini. Yeah.
It is Absolute vodka, by the way.
Yeah.
Your favorite from when you were...
It is my
19.
favorite. I know.
So Paloma and Bond drink to Felix, and Paloma chugs her drink, and they leave. We cut to Valdo with the one-eyed man, Primo, doing some computery hackery stuff. Apparently there is some sort of gene encoding being done. Valdo hands a vial to Primo, who then leaves.
Yeah, so, he does a little switcheroo by dropping it on the floor and then, like, picking up a different thing or whatever. I
Yes.
noticed that. When we get to this part, I'm a little confused on who thinks what is happening and how it's all going down and stuff like that.
Well, bear in mind, Valdo is working for Safin.
Okay.
Primo is working for Blofeld at this point.
But that's what's weird about it. So it's Blofeld that was breaking into the lab, but Safin just knew about it?
Yes. Because Safin, remember, Safin is a child of Spectre. They'll talk about that later.
Okay.
He wants revenge on Spectre.
Right. I know that. But how does he know what's happening and how? I don't know. I guess I was just a little bit confused about that part of the plot. But I mean, I get what happens, but I was a little confused about who's working for who and all that kind of stuff. But okay.
So Bond and Paloma walk into the party and then they split up. It's a big Spectre soiree. Everybody from Spectre's there. It was nice that everybody was able to come to that. They
got like well, Blofeld's not there, obviously, because he's in prison.
Jail.
But yeah, they got all the rest of them.
They spot Primo. Paloma says, "Friend of yours?" Bond says, "Cyclops. We ran into each other in Italy."
Yeah.
Quip, "It was an eye-opening experience."
Nice.
Bond and Paloma hear Blofeld in their earpiece. Paloma spots Valdo. There is an eye on a pillow that Primo's holding, which is
kind of weird, right?
Blofeld's little spy device. Blofeld then is talking to these people, and then he identifies Bond.
Okay. How does Blofeld see? Like, I get that the eye could be a camera or some kind of communication device. So I can get how Blofeld could be talking and they could be hearing him, sort of. But there's no such thing as an artificial eye that sends signals to your brain. How does Blofeld see what's happening in that room if Blofeld has an artificial eye in his eye?
It's never explained.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Valdo approaches Paloma. I'm sorry. First off, so it sounds like Bond's about to get killed based on what Blofeld's saying, and everybody's going to watch.
Right.
All the smoke comes down from the ceiling. But instead, all of the people from Spectre start hemorrhaging and bleeding and dying right there in the room.
But Blofeld apparently thinks it's Bond that's going to die.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he does. Valdo approaches Paloma, says something to her, but then he sees Bond, so he runs. Bond takes out Valdo with some dinnerware and has yet another drink. Who throws a serving tray, honestly?
Right.
Primo then retrieves his eyeball, chases Bond and Paloma as 007/Nomi drops in and grabs Valdo.
Okay, hang on. Yeah, so Bond stopped at the bar and made a drink. He didn't just have a drink, right? He's at the bar and he mixes a drink and gives one to, Ana de Armas, whatever her name is in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, but let me see if I understand this. So Naomi/007 drops in.
Nomi, yes.
Nomi, sorry. So her plan to drop in and steal the guy only works if he happens to stand on that one place at the floor underneath that big window. That's her plan.
Charlie's ruining the movie.
Well, I mean, it was silly.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't even make any sense.
Whatever. Let's look at it this way.
Yeah.
Maybe it was more like she was trying to find an opportunity to get him.
Maybe.
That was the opportunity.
And she was carefully tracking where he was from the roof.
There's a lot of glass.
Yes. Glass to see down into the entryway only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, she gets him, takes him up. Paloma at this point, the whole time so far, it's like, oh my gosh, she's a child. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's not that young. She's like not much younger than me.
Yeah.
But obviously she looks fresh-faced out of, assassin school or whatever they all go to. And, but then she just shows that she's just a total badass by starting to take out henchmen and stuff.
Well, do you know, so when they first walked in, Did you hear her say that she only had 3 weeks of training?
That was a inside joke on her actual training for the movie. Yeah,
How about
that was pretty
that?
funny.
Because she kept telling the director she was nervous about the scene because she only had 3 weeks of training, and he told her to say it in the movie.
Yeah,
That was
pretty
pretty
good.
funny.
As Nomi and Valdo try to escape, Bond shoots out their harness. Bond continues to take out henchmen as Nomi helps from a building across the street. More henchmen head for Bond. Paloma beats the crap out of them, and then while lying on the ground, turns and shoots all 3 of them dead. That was awesome.
Pretty good.
Bond falls down into the bar with henchmen, pours himself and Paloma another drink.
Yeah.
And then Paloma leaves.
This is where my wife said, I call boo on that one.
That drink.
She thought that drink was just too much.
Yeah. Paloma leaves, and then Bond comes out the party, and we see Paloma arriving in a Chevy Bel Air.
Yeah. They're in Cuba.
Nomi and Valda are going across this building, and there's, of course, this scaffolding, and Paloma just runs right into the scaffolding, knocks Valda down. Good thing he didn't die from that.
Yeah.
When then Nomi is surrounded by cops, she shoots out the power lines and escapes. Bond and Paloma grab Valdo and leave. This is where Paloma says goodbye to Bond and Valdo and gives Bond a cigar to give to Felix. So now Bond and Valdo hop onto a plane. Valdo says...
I mean, they steal a seaplane.
Yeah. Valdo says he saved Bond's life. He switched the gene encoding that was supposed to kill Bond, but killed Spectre instead. Bond and Valdo on a boat with Felix and Howdy Doody, Logan Ash. Bond starts interrogating Valdo, wants to know how Blofeld knew Bond was going to be there. Logan keeps trying to get Valdo to stop talking.
Yeah.
So you know something's up with this Logan Ash guy.
Yeah.
Logan Ash then realizes that he's going to get caught anyway, so he shoots Felix.
Well, what happens is, the scientist, Bond asks him a question, and he stares at him like, what do you want me to say?
Yes.
Right? And so he's like, oh, I guess the jig is basically up.
Yeah.
And as I wrote, nerd is a bad guy?
The Book of Mormon. So he shoots Felix and then begins to fight with Bond. Shoving him. Eventually, he gets a gun, but then he shoves Bond down the stairs. He locks Bond in the belly of the boat with Felix. Felix has a great line here where he says he has a feeling in his gut that Ash may not be on their side because he had been shot in the gut.
that was pretty funny.
That's some good writing right there.
Yeah.
Bond tries to stop Felix's bleeding as he looks for a way out, but then as he's talking to Felix, the boat explodes as the plane flies off.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Bond, concussed for the 83rd time,
I know, right?
wakes up as the boat begins to take on water. He grabs Felix, heads for the surface. Felix tells Bond he's got this and to let him go. And Felix then says, "It's a good life, isn't it?" Bond responds, "The best." And then Felix dies. And that's Kleenex count number 2.
Oh gosh, I know. That was
sad.
sad. But I will say, if you're going to end the movie the way they ended it, I think it was good, right? I mean, if you're going to make it sad all around, wrap up everyone's storyline, and so forth. Oh,
round of applause for Jeffrey Wright. He was a great Felix Leiter.
He was,
and he was like one of the only ones that did it more than once. There was like one other guy that did it twice, like in an 18-year gap.
Most of the other ones played it really straight.
Yeah.
And this guy and Felix Wright, kind of the way they wrote him in these movies, he kind of went toe to toe with quips and stuff with Bond. And you felt he was more on the same level, and you could see the camaraderie between the two, which, like, I think in the books, there's a definite camaraderie between Bond and Felix. And I think with these two, it comes through in these movies.
I would say that Felix, at least this Felix, if his wife had died, he probably wouldn't want to go fishing with Bond 3 days later.
I know, right? Seriously.
Call back to License to Kill.
Yeah, that was terrible.
But round of applause for Jeffrey Wright. He was great. Bond.
He did a good job. Bond fortunately finds a life raft.
Yeah, he opens a hatch as the boat sinks, swims to the surface where he finds a life raft. So we get Bond on a boat as a ship approaches. We're back in London. Bond's in London this time. He always has an extra Aston Martin in storage.
Yeah, the DB5 was he had to leave it at the train or whatever. So
now we get the V8 from The Living Daylights, which I love that car.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
We get a brief shot of the old M, Judi Dench's little ceramic dog in that storage unit. Bond heads into MI6, is asked for his name. The guard says, name, Bond. And the guard just keeps looking at him.
That
and
was
it says James
really,
Bond.
really good.
And
the guy is still looking at him, right?
That was awesome.
That was very funny.
Bond meets with Moneypenny and Nomi as Bond and Nomi get into a pissing contest.
I said, why is the new 007 a jerk? It didn't. I liked it much better once they were on the same side.
Bond is in M's office and he rips into M because he knows that this is all M's fault. He does quip here. Has the desk got bigger or are you getting smaller?
Yeah, that was good.
M blames Bond for the mess, but Bond blames M. Bond and M talk about Heracles. Then he reveals to M that Felix is dead, which M didn't know. He does apologize for that.
Yeah. I wrote, this M is pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, another pissed M.
Bond wants to talk to Blofeld at this place called Belmarsh that he's imprisoned. M says no and kicks him out of the office. And Bond says it's definitely the same desk. That was a pretty good line.
Yeah.
So M sends 007/Nomi to Belmarsh. Moneypenny asks Bond what he's doing for dinner. So then Bond and Moneypenny arrive at Q's flat, where Q's cooking dinner, and he says he's got company coming over. He'll be here in 20 minutes. So now we do know what Q stands for.
Oh, wow.
Bond has a storage device for Q to look at that apparently came out of Valdo's sphincter at some point.
It must have, right? Do you know where this thing's been?
Yeah.
I assume everywhere.
Moneypenny mentions the Heracles project. The wine they're drinking here it's like $350. So we did not make that a companion beverage.
And Bond just opens it and pours some for Nomi and they just drink it. Or sorry, for
Moneypenny.
Moneypenny, and they drink it.
Valdo is working for someone that managed to kill all of the Spectre agents except for Blofeld. Q finds a database of DNA information on the drive. Moneypenny mentions there have been breaches of these databases. Bond wants Q to get him into Belmarsh, but they say only one person has access to Blofeld. And
Who
of course
could that
it's his
be?
doctor, Madeline Swan.
Oh, his ex-girlfriend.
So now we go to Swan arriving at a facility to meet her new patient, who is actually Safin. This is Rami Malek, also known for a TV show called Mr. Robot. Did you ever see that?
I did.
I watched a couple episodes. And Bohemian Rhapsody, for which he won an Oscar, which apparently has not aged well. A lot of people don't like that movie.
Oh, really?
I thought it was fine.
I haven't seen it. Are you surprised?
I'm not surprised at all.
I said, creepy guy getting therapy.
Yeah. Safin and Swan have a cryptic conversation about how saving someone's life means they belong to you.
Yeah, because she doesn't know who this is
Right.
at the time, of course.
But then he gives her a box. What's in the box? Oh, it's just Safin's mask from when he killed Swan's mom.
Oh, creepy.
He then asks her for a favor, and Swan says, "You murdered my mother," to which Safin replied, "And your father killed my entire family." So,
Okay, but is she responsible for her father killing
the
his family?
sins of the father are...
She was
what's
a
that line?
tiny little girl. Yeah. It's a little different.
I get it. But when you're crazy, it doesn't matter. Safin wants Madeline to wear something to a meeting with somebody, threatens the person she loves the most if she doesn't help him. She replies saying, "There's nobody I love. They're all gone."
But
dun, dun, dun.
That's not true,
Bond.
is it?
So then we have Bond and M meeting outside. They discuss Swan being being Blofeld's doctor. Heracles, they didn't talk about Heracles. It was a weapon aimed at protecting people, so of course it's a good thing. It was never meant to harm anybody but the bad guys. So
Oh, well,
never,
then it's fine.
yeah. M makes a comment about how it's just hard now because the enemy is just floating out in the ether. Bond then discusses how we found the database of DNA, and M looks at Bond. We, and Bond gives him the side eye, and then M says, "Oh, for F's sake." So we're our second F-bomb of the franchise.
Yeah.
That was a good one. But they still couldn't do the C word inspector.
No.
Q, Nomi, and Moneypenny arrive at M's office where Bond, Tanner, and M are waiting. Bond has been reinstated. Nomi asks what his 00 will be. Q analyzed the blood samples of some of the dead, found Heracles in the blood samples of all the deceased Spectre relatives that were just at their funerals, like kissing them on the forehead and stuff, the bodies. Right. They were killed by nanobots that target specific DNA signatures.
You know what the moral of the story is here?
What's that?
Don't kiss dead people.
Right. Could that be a better Bond plot? It's a perfect Bond plot. Oh, there are these nanobots that kill a DNA signature.
Exactly.
Only in a Bond movie. So Valdo modified the nanobots so that they could kill anybody with DNA similarities, which kind of seems like a slippery slope to me because...
Oh, do you think so?
Yeah.
There's no possible way that this weapon that kills people based on their DNA could possibly get out of control.
But even at the DNA similarities, it's like you have DNA similarities with like sixth cousins. So
yeah. I know.
M realizes that Heracles was a colossal mistake, so he asks Q to hack into Blofeld's bionic eye.
Now, I have a question here.
Yes.
Why doesn't the bionic eye, when Blofeld looks through it, go...
Nice. That's good.
Have you ever seen the $6 Million Man
No, but I knew what you were
show?
talking about. I knew what you were talking about.
Every time you use that bionic eye...
Yeah. We then go to Madeline in a bathroom, putting on some perfume. Nomi walks in, tells her she'll be waiting outside. Q is now searching in databases, satellites, whatever, to find Logan Ash, and he unlocks Blofeld's bionic eye. Tanner and Bond are chatting while Nomi and Swan are chatting. They meet at this hallway. Bond sees Madeline, tries to shake her hand. She refuses and just says...
she leaves him hanging.
Just says, Mr. Bond. Well, we know why she did that. Because she had the toxin.
She had the toxin. I know.
Bond and Swan wait for Blofeld to be brought out. Don't make much small talk, and then Bond sees Swan shaking. So Blofeld is brought in via a cage in a very Silence of the Lambs manner.
Yeah, in a telephone booth.
Yeah.
A moving telephone booth or something.
That, of course, has a window that completely opens so you can reach in and touch him.
Thank goodness.
What could we do? What would we do with this movie?
No, nothing could go wrong.
Yeah. Madeline gets spooked and leaves, but Bond grabs her arm before she does. Bond talks to Blofeld about Cuba, says he has enemies closing in and that Bond can save his life. Q is looking at the footage from Blofeld's eye. There's a video of Logan Ash meeting with Primo. So we're back at Belmarsh now, where Nomi tells Tanner they found Ash. Blofeld needles Bond about Swan. Bond tells Blofeld to give him a name, and he keeps saying Madeline.
Yeah.
Blofeld asks Bond to approach him, tells him once again it was all him, referring to the Vesper crypt explosion, and that Madeline had nothing to do with it, of course.
Right.
She didn't have anything
to do. The reason at first I'm like, why is he telling him this? But he tells him so that he can tell Bond that he spent the last 5 years not being with Madeline all because of him, because he tricked him into thinking she had gone bad.
Right. Bond finally snaps. He begins choking Blofeld, but then releases him. Tanner's watching the whole time. He's like trying to calm Bond down and stuff. Q later says, it's a good thing, because Blofeld at this point, he's like choking and dying. Because
they turn around and look, and he's slumped over, and he's
because
dead.
Bond touched him because of what Madeline had. So Q says it's a good thing Bond and Blofeld weren't actually related, because Blofeld is dead now.
Importantly,
yeah.
Bond asks him, well, once you have these nanobots, how do you get rid of them?
That's later.
Oh, that's not now?
Yeah, that's a little later. Back at the Q branch, Bond is told, oh, I'm sorry. No, you're right.
No, that's right.
Yeah, he says something else
He
later,
says,
too, though.
Yes, later it comes up again, but he says,
you're right. I have it
nanobots, they aren't just for Christmas.
Moneypenny tells Bond that Swan has fled, and Bond heads out. Although Madeline
says, do you know where to find her? No, I don't know her at all.
Yeah, but she said to Bond right before she left the Belmarsh, she said, I'm going home.
Yeah.
And that was a hint to Bond. So we now go to Norway, where we have our fourth companion beverage.
Ooh, boy, wow. I don't know if anyone's going to understand us by the end of this thing.
We'll see. We are back with our simple gin and tonic using the Harahorn Norwegian gin. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I like
good.
that.
It's a gin and tonic.
Yeah.
It's good. I like it.
Bond arrives at Madeline's home, which she told him when she was leaving Belmarsh. They discuss how she was trying to kill Blofeld. Bond tells, they just have a lot of back and forth here. Bond eventually tells Swan he always loved her and regrets nothing except for putting her on that train.
Yeah.
Swan says, do you know the worst thing about you? Bond says, my timing. Then he says, my sense of humor.
Okay, the worst part about this, do you know what it is? She never answers the question.
No.
It bothers me.
I don't know. The worst thing about you is you abandoned your child for 5 years.
Maybe.
Bond and Madeline kiss. They are interrupted by a girl sitting at the top of the stairs named Matilda. Bond sees her and immediately runs out of the house. The end.
Right. We could all see what's happening here. But, Mike, you didn't mention the best part of this scene, which is the slinky.
Oh, the slinky going down the stairs.
How many takes do you think they had to do to get that slinky to go down those stairs properly?
Is that a rhetorical question?
No, I can only imagine. Yeah. But I loved the slinky part of the scene.
Yeah. Because that's the only toy you had when you were a child.
We know, Mike, they walk downstairs alone or in pairs and make a slinkety sound.
Wow.
A spring, a marvelous spring. Everyone knows it's
Slinky.
A slinky, for fun it's a wonderful toy.
You can tell Charlie's on his fourth companion beverage.
No. You know what the worst part is, Mike? I would be doing that totally sober.
Yes. Back at MI6, Tanner is telling M that they found Logan Ash, informs Nomi, and M thanks her for being a good soldier. And then she mentions to M that Bond gave her the tip on it. Madeline tucks Matilda in, tells Bond she's not his daughter. I don't know why you lie at this point. You clearly know it's his daughter.
Why do you lie?
Yeah.
We all know. Everybody knows. Bond knows. The audience knows. Everybody knows that that's
It's not
his
like
daughter.
this was an infant in diapers or something.
Right.
It couldn't have been.
No, we all know.
So Madeline does say, I have something to show you, to which Bond quips, another child?
Right.
Madeline shows Bond another secret room, which Bond makes a joke about how your father loves his secret rooms.
Yeah.
Reveals that Safin is behind everything. So Safin's parents were Spectre's poisoners. They had an island called the Poison Garden. Do you remember the reference of that?
So, Mike, I am just now reading You Only Live Twice. And just a couple days ago, they started talking. Tanaka is telling him about the man with the poison garden on an island where everyone
with
goes.
The poison garden.
And they talk about, so, it's funny because in You Only Live Twice, there are some scenes where Tanaka is trying to convince Bond that Japanese culture is better.
Yes.
But they have a long conversation in the book about ritual suicide and how it absolves your family of the whatever shame of whatever terrible thing you did, so that ritual suicide is great in his opinion.
Yes.
But apparently because of the poison garden, that this secret man, who I don't know who it could possibly be, is growing.
Yeah.
And that all these Japanese people are going there on purpose and breaking in to end up dying in the toxic garden.
Do you know who the secret man is yet?
I mean, I have a pretty good sense of who it's going to be.
Okay.
But I don't know in the book yet.
Okay.
But I have my suspicions, let's say. Yeah, that was pretty interesting. I mean, the fact that I just happened to be reading that book with the toxic garden is pretty
And I believe
wild.
they call it the Garden of Death in the book.
Yeah, I think so.
So the next morning, Bond is awakened by his not daughter, who is hungry. Apparently, Bond's cooking skills are not quite as good as assassin skills. She said it was fine.
Yeah.
M calls Bond. Q is on the line, tells everyone that the Poison Island is on a disputed island between Japan and Russia, which I think also checks out from the book. I believe.
Well, it is
was,
off the coast of Japan, right?
Yeah. Nomi is following Logan Ash, who it turns out is actually heading for Bond because Bond is asking, why is she here? Because he
goes, I thought she was tracking him, not me. And then he realizes in half a second what's happening.
So Bond, Swan, and Matilda leave the house in a very sensible Toyota vehicle.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Is that like a Forerunner?
I think it's something like a Forerunner, yeah. Bond calls Q, asks for a plane. We see two vehicles approaching from the opposite direction. How cool was this bridge and everything? The bridge that they're driving on.
I read something about the bridge.
Yeah.
And it talked about how because of the shape of that bridge, it has this illusion when you're driving over it, like it's just going to go into nowhere.
Yeah.
And so people call it colloquially the bridge to nowhere.
Nice.
Because it had that arch to it, right?
Yes.
So I'm sure when you're going up, you keep not being able to
I could see that, yeah.
where it's going, and you're just driving on it. It was a pretty cool bridge.
Speaking of Norway, I actually just watched a movie. This is completely non-Bond related, but I just watched a movie called Sentimental Value last weekend. It's one of the Best Picture nominees.
Is this an episode of Mike Goes on a Tangent?
Goes on a tangent.
Okay, keep going.
It's my favorite Best Picture nominee that I've watched so far. It's so good. It's got Stellan Skarsgård in it, who is also nominated for an Oscar for it.
Okay.
Highly recommend it. It's Norwegian, but Stellan is Swedish, but
Oh my gosh, that ruins it for me, Mike.
Yeah, it's like an American playing a Canadian or vice versa.
Right, exactly.
Or an Australian playing James Bond.
Right.
Stay tuned. So these two vehicles turn around and pursue Bond. Bond manages to...
Okay, so this is, how I do these things.
Yes.
Did they notice it was him, or did they get to the place and go, oh, well... maybe they thought there's only one person out there, and if they're leaving, then this must be them.
Yeah, they realized fairly quickly.
They must have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bond manages to dispatch...
Makes a good chase, I guess.
He manages to dispatch with them, but then a helicopter and 3 more vehicles and 2 motorcycles show up.
Okay, did you notice, so Madeline gets in the back seat with her daughter, right?
Yes.
During the chase.
Yes.
Which is a good motherly thing to do, right?
Sure.
You go back there and comfort her.
Right.
And they're talking about bad guys or something. I don't really know what. And the daughter goes, Mommy, do you think mosquitoes have friends?
Yes, she does.
That's a deep question, Mike.
Is
right?
it?
Does Rami Malek, as this bad guy, have friends? Do people who do terrible things have friends? But mosquitoes are just being mosquitoes, Mike.
Wow.
That's all they can do is be mosquitoes.
So deep. This is the kind of
thought it was pretty
insight
good,
you really
actually.
think about when you're 4 drinks in.
I wrote it down, dude. I was thinking about it. I think about... Mike, I'm a very deep and feeling type of person. I could have been a philosopher. I should have been a philosopher.
I don't know about... We'll see. We'll talk about Kleenex count at the end.
Okay.
Some of these pursuing vehicles are actually Land Rover Defenders. And I read that these were early prototypes. They were actually the first 10 off the assembly line.
Oh, wow.
You got to love how Bond movies, they make cars for Bond movies.
Yeah.
Bond takes out one of the Land Rovers, heads for the forest. Bond, Madeline, and Matilda leave the vehicle. Swan shoots and kills one of the bikers.
But I loved when they go off-road or whatever, do you notice how 3 cars and a motorcycle jump out of the woods simultaneously?
Yes.
Because, wait, Mike, they knew he'd go that way?
Yeah.
They're just waiting there because they knew that they would be needed at that road that has nothing to do with where the house is. They were just waiting in the woods there and then driving at full speed to jump out of the woods and chase
It felt
them.
like a Marvel movie when all the heroes line up at the same time
I know,
and charge
but
forward.
there's no reason for them to be there.
No.
There's no reason. Come on.
Bond takes out another vehicle and then pulls a tow line out of it to dispatch with the motorcycle because he apparently didn't see that Bond did that, even though he was pursuing him.
I thought maybe some Imperial walkers were coming to get him,
Yes.
and he pulled that out and put it around the tree.
Howdy Doody arrives, starts shooting at Bond, but then his Range Rover flips over. Ash does manage to get out of the car, asks for help. Ash says, "You won't be able to stop him, so why don't you help me out, brother?" To which Bond replies, "I had a brother. His name was Ernst. Stop. No, wait, sorry. I had a brother. His name was Felix Leiter."
Yeah.
Kleenex count number 3.
Yeah.
And then we get a clear homage to For Your Eyes Only because Bond kicks the Range Rover and it falls and kills Howdy Doody.
He does. I said knocks car onto nerd.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd have pushed the car onto the guy
absolutely.
too.
That guy was a jerk. He deserved
He
it.
earned it.
Madeline shoots another henchman, but then Safin arrives. Bond rushes back, sees Madeline and Matilda are gone, and sees a helicopter flying away.
Ugly guy kidnaps Madeline.
Yes.
Madeline, as I said.
You should have said Freddie Mercury kidnaps
I
Madeline.
should have.
Nomi,
But as you remember,
You
I
have
haven't
not seen
seen
it,
that
yeah.
movie.
Nomi arrives, picks up Bond, not in a Vespa this time. No, she has an Aston Martin DB5 Superleggera.
Not too shabby.
That is a nice car.
Yeah.
Maybe we should become double O's. You get some pretty cool cars as a double O. And you just drink
We
and
should.
you just drink all the time and
No.
you know, well, we have wives.
But
Never
I
mind.
wanna
won't
be
say
like-
the rest.
I want to be like the Shaggy and Scooby-Doo. We can be the Shaggy and Scooby-Doo at the Double O's where we're like afraid to actually do anything. We just want the spoils.
And we're high as a kite all the time?
Maybe.
Wait, which one of us is Shaggy? Which
yeah,
is Scooby?
I don't know. I'm going to be Scooby, I think. But
Would be the Cheech and Chong of MI6.
I guess the bad part is then they use us for bait all the time, so we're the
Yeah.
ones in danger.
Right.
All right, maybe that won't work out.
We'll
but
think about this. We'll workshop it.
Yeah, okay, good.
Real weird line here because Bond says, "Thank you, 007."
Yeah,
That was cool.
weird.
Bond and Nomi arrive at the plane where Q awaits them. On the plane, Nomi requests that Bond be reinstated as 007, as she says it's just a number. M approves it. So that's nice.
But at least they're like on the same team now,
Yeah.
and we're done with all the goofy like,
Jealousy stuff.
Yeah, it didn't work well for me.
Q then gives Bond a watch that contains an EMP device. I'm sure he won't use it.
No, none of the things he gets from Q ever come in handy. I did enjoy Q opening up the toolbox to find what he wanted to give Bond, and there's a tea set in one of the drawers.
Yes.
Did you notice
I did see that. That was funny.
I thought that was pretty good.
He also gives him QDAR. Is that like gaydar? But no, it's
know.
not. No, it's a mapping device.
It
you
is a
jerks.
mapping
Anybody
device,
that thought
but
that is a
yeah.
jerk.
Yes. Whoever did think that is a jerk, Mike. You're right.
Bond and Nomi then get shot with smart blood. Q says, "I hope you don't mind a shot at work." And Bond quips, "Well, I haven't had a drink in 3 or 4 hours. Ouch." And then he gets shot with the
Yes.
blood. Our third appearance of the smart blood. We now go to Safin's Island. This is a long scene. There's a long stretch of this movie is the Safin Island stuff. Madeline and Matilda are brought in. Safin is given a pendant that is his insurance.
Okay. Love the henchman outfits.
I have it written down for you.
Do
too.
you really?
I
These
really do.
really goofy,
Yes.
ridiculous. It almost goes back to Dr. No level of ridiculousness of the henchman outfits, which I really appreciated. And I kind of wondered if they did it on purpose to
Yeah.
be like, we need some really goofy dressed henchmen who are like super goofy.
It was pretty cool.
Yes, holding the stuff for him and
I
everything.
mean, this is a whole
It was
villain's lair.
great.
This is a
Yes.
classic Bond villain
Oh
lair.
my gosh, yes, it was great.
So Safin and Swan are chatting. Safin takes Matilda to the poison garden made by Safin's father. Safin shows Matilda various plants that have different effects.
I grew up here,
Yeah.
and you will too.
We're back on the plane. Bond and Nomi are leaving the plane via Stealthy Bird to head for Saffin's Island.
You ever fly one of these? Nope.
Stealthy Birds look much better than the missiles Bond and Leiter used in Never Say Never Again.
Oh, yeah. Much better. But I did like it, right?
Yeah.
I like that. See, now Nomi, I kind of like her, right?
Yes.
Like, you ever fly one of these? Nope. But they're calm because, they're both double O's
Yes.
and like, we eat danger for breakfast.
Bond and Nomi land, arrive at a dock inside the island.
They don't just land, dude. This thing goes down through the clouds, wings come out, and then it goes on the water, and then it's a submarine, and it goes underwater.
Second best vehicle that turns into a submarine in the
Exactly.
franchise.
Yes. But pretty cool, but,
Yeah.
the Lotus. I mean, come on.
Yes. This where they end up is like a World War II sub pen is what it's called.
I think so. Yeah.
Q, they're trying to get in. Q tells Bond to use his watch, which disables some of the cameras in the facility. Bond and Nomi make their way through the facility. Q can no longer communicate with them. Here we go. There are a bunch of henchmen in uniforms, Charlie's favorite,
Yes.
doing something in the water.
Yes.
Nomi notices there are missile silos in here.
Okay. When they're in the water and they're like raking the water or stirring it or something, I don't know. Like, was it easier to put vertical tubular lights into the water than it is to put lights like normally on the ceiling? Like, what are these lights doing in this water?
It's a cool villain's lab. It
Must
have
have
weird
been.
looking stuff.
It is. Well, it's weird looking.
So Bond and Nomi, they find an actual laboratory. They kick all the scientists out and place bombs around the room. Nomi then kicks the crap out of Valdo. Nomi says, looks down at where all the uniform people are at, and she says, that was the farm. And Bond says, and this is the factory. So there's all these things on the wall. It's the stuff they're going to send out to the world.
But they have the goofy scientist, which is good.
Yes.
And he's annoying them with his banter.
Yeah. So they're mass producing a weapon that will kill millions using the nanobots. We then have Saffin speaking over the intercom, tells Bond to come to him as they each have something the other wants. Madeline, meanwhile, is enjoying some tea while Primo waits for her to drink it. This tea apparently makes you go blind.
Yeah, well,
if you get it in your eye.
Well, okay, but that's a lie, right? I think she made that up.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. I think
just to freak him out.
I think to get out of there.
Okay.
So did you notice? So when Lucifer has Madeline and they're in the poison garden, she's about to touch something, right? Mm-hmm. And Madeline yells at her, "Don't!" He says, "You know what these do? They make people tell the truth."
So you think that's what was in the tea?
I think that's what was in the tea, a truth serum, because he says something like, "Go make her tell the truth," or "Go make her do something," right?
I did not catch that.
I think she figured out that she could get away by saying that it would blind, because she goes, "Losing one eye, that's terrible, but losing both eyes, right?" So then she throws it in his face, I think it's to make him think that he's in mortal danger, or of being blinded. Maybe not mortal, blindal danger.
Blindal danger.
And it works, and she gets away. That was a good move.
It was, because she grabs his gun, leaves the room, locks the door.
Although my sister-in-law was over watching it today, she goes, "She should have just shot him." Like, yeah, it's true. Actually, she should have just shot him.
Yeah, but then we wouldn't get the cool death later.
I know.
Bond is ascending to Saffin's lair. He's there with Matilde. It's a pretty sparse room for entertaining. As far there was no like tea service or anything.
No.
Bond disarms as Saffin taunts him.
He's just sitting in the middle of that floor at that table with the girl with a bunch of henchmen, bodyguards standing around in black. Like, how creepy does a scene get?
Yeah. Saffin, in true villain fashion, says that he and Bond are very similar. Bond tries to relate with Saffin, taking the orphan angle, tells him the weapon means nobody gets a chance.
Right. Big speech.
Saffin gives his whole villainous spiel, says he's made Bond redundant. Bond needles him, saying he's standing on a very long line of little men. It's a good thing there's a movie, and we don't have people like that in real life that are little men.
It really is good.
Safin says he can leave the island with Matilde, but that Madeline has to stay. Bond, at first he's blustering about it, but then Bond agrees to Safin's demands because he's really worried he's going to kill
Because he throws
Matilda.
a pillow in the air.
Yeah,
he throws a pillow in the air. So what I was discussing earlier, Mike, is
okay.
I'm thinking about the scene before Bond walks in. So obviously he's sitting in this room. He's like, all right, guys, we're going to go in this room and I'm going to sit crisscross applesauce, which is not what we used to call it, on the floor.
Yeah.
With this little girl. You guys are going to stand around, and James Bond's going to come up this weird stairway in the middle of the floor. Okay, so you guys stand around. He's going to come up here, okay? And when I throw the pillow in the air, you guys shoot the pillow, okay? I want you to shoot the pillow. All right, let's practice this one time. I'm going to throw this pillow up. You guys shoot it. Make sure all the feathers come out. All right, clean up the feathers. All right, I'm going to get another pillow.
Bring me back the pillow.
Exactly. Get me a new pillow. Okay. That's what we're going to do. All right, go.
It's tough being a villain. I mean, there's a lot of prep.
I mean, it really is. I think how long he had to sit there waiting for Bond to show up.
Yep. Bond does agree to Safin's demands eventually, gets really contrite and starts to apologize, but then we see that he's got a gun. So he takes out all the henchmen, but Safin, of course, has like an elevator that drops him down into the floor.
Okay, that was... at the same time, both ridiculous and awesome.
Yes, it was.
It was
true Bond stuff.
It was, right? I mean, he doesn't even flinch.
Yeah.
I don't even know how he activates the floor and how he activates it so quickly, and it's a very fast floor.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he doesn't even flinch, and suddenly the floor is just going down. It was so awesome. But after he tells Bond, people want oblivion. What a line is that? Yeah. People want oblivion, Mike.
So Safin's carrying Matilda through a corridor, but then she bites him. So he's just like, I'm done with you. Just go away.
I mean, he just lets her go. Like, he did all this work to kidnap her. Like, he didn't need to kidnap anyone.
Here's what I will say. Maybe it's like the same thing as like when Madeline was drowning. And he's ultimately like, even I can't kill a kid, right? Even though he's about to kill, millions. But I can't kill a kid. Yeah, but he didn't
have to kill the kid. But he look at it this way, Mike. Letting her go, in all likelihood, is going to result in her death. It doesn't, but what I'm saying is they're on a poison island.
Yeah.
Almost everything on this island will kill you.
Yeah.
Whether it be a DNA thing or that soup that the guys are stirring or all of the plants.
The poison
Like
soup.
When he lets her go, he's basically letting her die. Yeah. But why did he go to all the trouble to kidnap her and use her against Bond? And then he's just like, all right, well, you bit my finger. You're gone. Go ahead.
Nomi escorts Valdo through the facility. She shoots a henchman that falls into the poisonous water. Valdo says, I don't need a laboratory to exterminate your entire race from the face of the earth. What a smart thing to say to somebody that's got a gun on you.
Oh, definitely.
Nomi says to him, do you know what time it is? Time to die. Valdo should have said, after she said, do you know what time it is? He should have said no, and then she should have said time to die. And then we would have got the title of the movie in this.
Exactly. That's right. Just like, what a view.
To a kill. Just like... It really scared the quantum of solace out of her.
Right, exactly.
Bond and Swan head through the building looking for Matilde, who just shows up by herself. She's just hiding out down there.
She's under the table, yeah.
Q's trying to contact him because there's 2 Russian MiGs that fly by the plane that Q's on. Tanner's getting pressured to explain to the Russians, to the Japanese, and I think also like to the Prime Minister or something, what's going on. Bond, Madeline, Matilde meet up with Nomi. Bond contacts Q, tells him they need to destroy...
Wait, did we say that Nomi pushed the scientist into the toxic water and he died?
Well, she said time to die, and then she kicked him off.
And she kicks him off of the platform into the toxic water.
Yeah. I think his face was starting to bubble as he was in it.
Yeah. It was bad. I don't even know what's in the water because if it's just the nanobot thing, Like, I don't know why when Blofeld died of nanobots, he just like hunched over.
Yeah.
But so I don't know what's in this water, but it was pretty cool.
M tells Bond the operation is attracting a lot of international attention.
Right.
Bond puts Madeline and Matilda on a boat and says he has to finish this. Bond says, "I'll just be a minute." So
I
Nomi
have to
takes
finish this for us.
Yeah.
Because, the missiles aren't going to be enough to kill Lucifer. I need to go do it.
Yeah. Nomi takes the boat and they leave. Bond heads back in, talks with Q, who says the uninvited guests are 15 minutes away. That's the ships that are coming to get
buy the
to
stuff
get the
to kill
nanobots
people.
or whatever. Yeah. Bond tells M they have to destroy the island or there'll be nothing left to save. Q tells him he has to open the blast doors so the island can be destroyed. Bond continues to mow down henchmen throughout the facility, blowing up an entire room. Bond then arrives at a corridor and he shoots down it, and it looks just like the gun barrel opening. What did you think of that?
Just like
How awesome was that?
It was very cool. And the funny thing is, he's got a machine gun in his hand, but just for that little scene, he fires a handgun just to look like the gun barrel. That was good. I appreciated it.
Dodging grenades, Bond continues taking out henchmen in a very John Wick fashion. I did like how one grenade fell down and he threw it back up and it blew up, and then like 5 fall down.
I know,
and he's
right?
like,
and then he jumps to the side.
Yes.
Yes. That was pretty good.
We then get Primo and Bond tussling, and Bond has him in a headlock and then activates his EMP watch, which blows up Primo's eye and kills him.
That was awesome. I mean, you had to have, right, like as the number 2 henchman, or what, number 1 henchman or whatever, he had to have like a good death, right? Like he couldn't just be shot.
Yes.
That was pretty good.
Q asks if Bond's all right. We get a quip. "I just had to show someone your watch. It really blew their mind."
That was good.
Bond arrives at the control room, turns the power on. Q tells Bond the order to engage the shield is very complex. Bond proceeds to do it without any guidance.
Okay. You're selling this short
Okay.
because it's hilarious.
Because he's already doing it.
He's going, now, it's from the 1950s, and you're going to need to use a very specific sequence. And Bond is just randomly turning every button on.
Do we think he's randomly doing it, or do we think he knows?
No, he doesn't know. I think that's supposed to be the comedy is. It's supposed to happen in a certain order, and Bond is just flipping every possible switch that he sees, and then he finds a lever, he's doing it, and now you'll probably find a counterweight, and done.
Nice.
It's like, I thought that was hilarious.
So Bond tells Q to tell M to launch the missiles. M orders the ships to launch the missiles, which are 9 minutes out.
Okay. Well, they start 15 minutes out.
Okay. Yes.
But I will say, so I thought the way they had M act through these scenes was really good, because M is just, you can tell he feels the weight of what he did and what is happening, that right now he has to order a missile launch on a disputed island that is going to start an international problem between Japan and Russia and Britain.
Yeah.
And he has no choice.
He has to make it right.
He has to do it.
Yep.
He has to blow up the island. It is probably going to be the end of his career.
Yeah.
He is going to pay the price. He has to save the world. And the way he delivers the lines is just so defeated.
Yep.
He just is. He knows what he has to do, but it's the most awful thing he's ever had to do. And he knows that it is going to cause worlds of trouble, but that it's the only possible thing he can do.
What do you say? It's Ralph Fiennes. What do you expect? I mean,
it is. That's right. I thought Ralph did a pretty good job.
So Bond finds Matilda's doll, but then he sees that the shields are coming back.
The shield generator? The shield generator was turned back on?
So he heads back to the control room, but then he's shot by Safin. Bond...
Not just shot one time. Like Safin, it looks like Safin shoots him a couple times.
So Bond fights with Safin, does break his arm.
They're in that pond.
They're in the pond.
Break his arm. Dude, he sits there and you're like waiting for it to happen. He's putting that pressure on his arm and he's bending it and you're like, oh my gosh, he's going to break his arm. And they do just the right amount of sound effect that it like really gets you right in the gut when that arm breaks. It's really, you feel like if he really broke his arm.
Bond is now bleeding. And he's told by Safin that they are both poisoned. With heartbreak.
In very, yes.
Anyone Bond touches will die.
Way, yes.
Bond puts anyone related to Bond that Bond touches will die.
Well, not anyone related to Bond. Anyone related to Matilda.
You're right.
Yes.
Madeline
and Matilda both will die.
Yes.
And since we know that if he touches one other person and that person touches another person and it gets back to her, even if he stays away from her, it will pass from person to person until it gets to her. She'll shake hands with some random person and it will kill her.
Yeah.
And you can see the weight of this on
Daniel
Bond's
Craig's
face when he realizes what's happened.
Right. Bond's done with him. He puts 3 bullets in Safin's head and walks away.
I mean, that was good.
Yeah.
Right? You know he's going to die in the missile attack, but when he makes that smirk at you, I'd have shot him.
Bond heads to the control room to remove the blast doors. Bond is talking to Q. He asks how to get rid of the nanobots. Q says you can't. It's eternal. Couldn't the EMP watch just kill them all?
Okay, so I have issues with this. Right. Why can't the EMP watch?
We need an email from a nanobot expert on this as to why an EMP wouldn't disable all the nanobots.
So here's what I'd do.
Okay.
If I'm James Bond, I open the blast doors, and instead of climbing to the roof, I walk 30 feet into the jungle on this island where the bombs are not aimed.
Yeah.
And I live... and I wait for them to invent the cure, right? They drop supplies to me and stuff, and they drop like scientists with like the big suits on, right?
Yeah.
And those scientists like heal my wound, doctors, and then they give me food. And in like a year, they figure out how to eradicate the nanobots from me, and then everything's fine.
Yeah. But Daniel Craig didn't want to do any more.
No,
James
I
Bond
know.
movies.
He did not. And apparently he had talked as early as Casino Royale
that he
had
wanted
made
to
clear
die.
that when he was done, it needed to be that he died.
Yes. So we're going to call this last bit on Safin's Island Kleenex time. Bond climbs out of the control room, asks to speak with Madeline. Madeline asks if it's done. Bond says Safin's dead. He tells her he isn't going to make it. Madeline says everything's good now. There's no one left to hurt them. But then Bond says, Madeline, you have made the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. She's perfect because she came from you. Madeline realizes Bond was poisoned, says there must be a way. And then she says, if we only had more time. To which Bond replies,
as we all knew he was going to.
You have all the time in the world. Kleenex count number 4.
Gosh.
Good God.
And then he looks up
Madeline,
at the sky.
Madeline says she does have your eyes. He says, I know. And then he looks up into the sky.
But he was looking up at the sky the whole time. They heard the missiles coming.
Yep.
He knew they were about to show up.
Yep.
Very dramatic.
He says, I know. And then he looks up. The missiles are almost there. He says, I know, one more time. And then James Bond dies from the missile strike. I don't think he could have survived that. I'm pretty sure that he's dead.
I'm pretty sure he's dead. In this timeline.
Yes. We're back at MI6 now. M, Moneypenny, Tanner, Q, and Nomi pour a drink for Bond as M reads a quote. Was that from Tennyson? I think it was.
No.
What was the quote? Sorry, I forget.
Jack London, I believe I read.
Really?
I think so.
Okay.
We'll look it up. During the break.
Yeah. They all toast him, and this is where we're going to have our final drink. And this is going to be our toast to James Bond, to this journey, and to Daniel Craig. We are back. We have our Balvenie Double Wood.
Wow,
Cheers.
what's this scotch going to be like, Mike? We
Scotchy
never have scotch.
Cheers
Cheers.
to Daniel Craig. And you know what, Charlie? To you. I would not have done this if you hadn't agreed to do it. So I do thank you. It's been fun.
This has been a great time, Mike. I'm so glad that you decided to do it and invited me along for the ride.
See, I just wanted to make sure Charlie had 4 drinks so he could get a little sappy at the end and say that.
No, seriously.
It's been fun.
It's been very fun.
But we're not done with the movie yet. Because after they toast Bond, M says, right, back to work. Now we go back to Italy. As We Have All the Time in the World plays in the background, Madeline tells Matilda about a guy named James Bond.
Oh, my God.
Kleenex count number 5.
Yeah, I know.
And that's how the movie ends, with We Have All the Time in the World by Louis Armstrong. Unbelievable. Sobbing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a very stoic person, as you know, Mike, but I felt something well up inside me. I didn't really cry, but
It's like the Grinch.
Yeah, but right. My heart grew 3 sizes that day, Mike.
My wife and I make sure not to make eye contact. She couldn't
Right.
watch. We watched it like last weekend, and we did not look each other at the end because, I mean, we were both sobbing by that point. Between the missiles hitting him and then they're toasting and then her at the end with that song playing, it just... And here's what I'm going to say.
Like me at the end of Field of Dreams when he plays baseball with his father.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
It's not about James Bond dying, okay? Yes, it's the end of an era. It's Daniel Craig leaving. I get tired of people like having this big hiccup about continuity. And like, you know, all these are connected. Just enjoy them for what they were. Now, the thing with the Daniel Craig movies is that they were all connected. The 5 movies, except for really Skyfall.
Yeah.
They really all had connection to other to the rest of them. But for me, the emotions, obviously the Felix Leiter where he says, you know, I had a brother, that just gets me. But Bond dying at the end is about the fact that A, he saved the world.
Right.
B, he's killing himself so that so that Madeline and his daughter
they were the
can
only
live.
they were the only 2 people who would die.
Yeah.
If he left that island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just that whole sacrifice that gets to me.
No. Well, I mean, right. It's not about Bond dying. I mean, Bond is a secret agent who could die at any moment.
Right.
He lives in a world where he could be dead any time, and he's in circumstances where people are shooting at any time. It's the fact, and they do a good job of it, it's the fact that he could have had everything. Mm-hmm. He's this hard agent. It's just why the end of On Her Majesty's Secret Service is sad.
Yes.
Here's this guy, this tough guy.
He was
who
done.
Just has all these adventures, and he was in the war, and he doesn't want to get close to anyone because he has this dangerous job where he can't even tell people what he's doing, blah, blah, blah. And then he finally breaks down. I'm going to get married, or in this case, I'm going to be with her.
Right.
I've figured it out.
I have a daughter.
Yeah. Right. And I have to sacrifice that. It's the only thing I can do right now. Yeah.
And the look on his face when he does it, it's like
right.
he's content with his decision.
He's accepted it, I think.
Yes.
He's not
I think,
happy
okay,
about
you're right.
it.
Yeah, he has
accepted this is the only possible outcome. And I am giving up everything to save these 2 people. And it's the only choice I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Did you see?
It's well thought out.
Did you happen to watch through the credits?
No, I did not.
Because after the credits, it says James Bond will return.
Now, is this going to be like Bond, like Casino Royale 67, where because this new 007 was not called James Bond, but is there going to be another James Bond in this timeline? Are they going to reboot it? Like, what do you think they're going to do? I have no idea.
Actually, there was a deleted scene in No Time to Die where a spaceship came down and picked up Bond right before the missiles blew him up.
Nice. Now,
So he's
now,
still alive.
do you want to know what my wife's theory is?
What's
What
that?
she thinks should happen? That the little girl becomes Jane Bond, and that we have a girl James Bond as the next James Bond, which would be cool.
It would be cool.
Yeah.
We'll do the quick trivialities. We'll do just a couple things. And then at the very end, I think I'd like to talk just a little bit about what we would like from the next James Bond movie. But here's the trivialities. Danny Boyle was actually the original director for this movie. He's the guy that did Trainspotting, 28 Days Later, and Slumdog Millionaire.
We've talked about him before, I feel like.
Maybe. The scenes in Matera, Italy could not be shot by helicopter due to local ordinance. So that just brings another really impressive, all that filming of that in Italy with the motorcycle jumping the stairs and everything.
Of course, now they just have like drones up there,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
I mean, back then, they had
even
to have a
5 years
helicopter.
ago, I don't know that they used drones quite as
I
much
know.
as they
Now
do.
they're like, you watch the Olympics and the drones can go down the bobsled course.
I will say that this was like filmed in like 2019. It got delayed and stuff, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Book comparison, or I'm sorry, one more. The brief shot, there's an Aston Martin in Q Lab that we don't really see much of, but it's the Aston Martin Valhalla.
That was
That
cool.
was a cool looking
We had
car.
a lot of Aston Martins in this
We
movie,
really did.
didn't we?
Yeah. Final thoughts and rating. Things I liked. Everything. Things I didn't like. Nothing. It's 5 stars. It's when I watched it the first time, it's like, this is my favorite Bond movie. I almost want to say number 1 again, but Casino Royale was so cool. Really made such a change. Going back to the book and Casino Royale is going to stay number 1, but this is number 2. I love this movie, even though it pains me to watch it because I sob like a baby every time I watch it. But I still put it at number 2.
I could watch it with you.
So where are you putting it?
All right. Well, let me start by saying
Or your rating first, sorry.
I'll give it 5 stars.
Okay.
It's very good.
Yeah.
It's well done. It really has emotional impact, right? More than just the gadgets and the fighting and everything. I mean, there are some parts that I think that I've
You had your
mentioned
critiques,
throughout
but it
the
wasn't
movie,
anything
yeah.
crazy.
But it's a Bond movie, right? You know how my critiques are, right? Like
Yeah.
it's entertainment, right?
Yeah.
It's supposed to have
It's like you
things
said earlier, it's
that
like
are superhuman.
I don't hate any of these movies.
No,
I like
gosh,
all of
no.
them, regardless
I mean,
of the
right?
silliness.
As ridiculous as some of the, even like we talked about the Felix Leiter and Bond going out of the submarine thing,
Yes.
but it's still awesome in its own way. You know what I mean? It's like, they're getting shot out of a submarine and landing on an island. I mean, come on, it's ridiculous, but that's part of it.
Right.
So, I will give it 5 stars. So now I have to decide where it is. And here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to put it at number 3.
Wow.
Now, is that wow because it's too low?
No, I did not know that you would like it as much as you did.
I really enjoyed
Yeah.
it. I mean, I will say this, like I said earlier, it's really hard because I like them all for different
Yes.
reasons.
Yeah.
And in some sense, I feel like if we were to do this whole thing again and start at the beginning, I might rank things differently based on what I was watching at the time.
Yeah.
Because so many of them are so good.
Yeah.
So it's hard, right? None of them are bad.
Right.
Well, maybe 67.
Well,
But-
we don't count that. It's non-eon, just like Never Say Never Again.
But still, it was really good. It's not better than Goldfinger. Goldfinger,
That's
honestly,
nostalgia
for me,
for you.
Yeah, Goldfinger has all the elements of
Yeah.
what I think is a Bond movie, and it's just great.
Yeah.
So that's part of the issue is it's been around so long that just based on the way movies are made and the way things are done, they're almost not the same thing.
Right.
Yet they're all great in their own way in their own time period.
I mean, I feel like this one, though, the stuff
really
they
good.
did that was
I
like homage to the older movies was really good.
It was good. And also, I will say, in the books, you really, because you understand, because you can hear Bond's thoughts in the books, right? You understand the things that are going on in his mind about the things he has to do in his job and the difficulties he has, the choices he has to make. I mean, in the book, I think when Countess Tracy dies in the book is sadder than it is in the movie. Because in the movie, you just see it.
Yeah.
But in the book, you go on this journey of him from thinking that this is just another mission and he can't care for this girl who, you know what I mean? And then he ends up loving her and getting married. And he goes through this whole acceptance phase. Like, it's so much like this movie in that he goes through this acceptance phase where he realizes, like, he thinks about what his job is. And he's like, I'm about to do something that is going to put me in another type of life where I'm with another person and I care about this person and I'm living as a couple instead of this life I have as a total solitary person where everything I do is this dangerous thing and I have to totally tamp down my emotions.
Yeah.
And I feel like in that sense, this movie goes through that exact same thing, right? He as a character is choosing between, you know, a life where he can actually let himself go and be with a person and the life where he has to do what he has to do because he's in the Secret Service and he has to save the world. So I mean, did think that was great.
It's obviously very intentional that we have so much from On Her Majesty's Secret Service in this one.
Yeah.
You know, with the music and everything. I mean, there were parts earlier in the movie where you heard the On Her Majesty's Secret Service music, and I thought that was awesome.
Right, and then they play it at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, and so that's the interesting thing, though, is I wonder how many people who saw this movie understand those references.
Yeah.
Like, probably not that many.
Right.
Especially because that particular movie almost might have the least viewership of any of the movies.
Yeah, it's definitely grown in its reputation, but it was not liked when it came out.
But reputation versus mass
the casual fan,
people
yes,
seeing it.
Yes, no,
right?
I get it.
It's
No, you're right.
right.
Yeah, you're right.
But I thought the interesting thing, it's almost like because when you read the book, you're like, wow, this is really good.
Yeah.
You know? And so I think the movie, the weight of the story grows on you more than just as a Bond movie with gadgets and all that kind of stuff, you know?
I mean, I don't think you could have ended the Daniel Craig run any better than that. I mean, what are you going to do? Just end it like they ended all the other ones pretty much, you know, just, Bond.
No, this one just punches you right in the gut.
Yeah, it was so well done. We do need to rank our theme song, and you're going to get shocked here because as we've been talking about it, as I've been listening to it, I am going to put No Time to Die at number 8, which is pretty high for me.
It is.
It's right below Goldfinger, right above Goldeneye.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't expect to like it. I've never really heard that much of Billie Eilish. But that song's going through my head. And unlike Moonraker, I can hear the tune in my head.
Well, yeah, you have a very musical mind. Obviously, you've really taken guitar a lot.
Yeah.
And learned a lot about music theory. And yeah, I respect and appreciate that you.
Yeah, it's got that very minor
angle.
Key kind of, dramatic type of thing that fits really well with the whole Bond theme. So I think it was well done, right? It's not like I'm going to listen to this song.
Right.
If I'm just going to put a song on, there's still some of these, right? A View to a Kill. I'm still going to be like, I mean, that song is awesome.
It is.
Right? So let me see where I'm going to put it.
So where are you thinking?
So I'm going to put it at number 5, right below Goldfinger also, interestingly.
That's funny.
I mean, Goldfinger is Goldfinger, man. I mean,
I get it.
Gosh, right? But I really found myself kind of humming along, and I thought the words were well done.
Yeah.
The music was well done, and it fits great with the movie. And they use it a lot during the movie. Did you notice? It works well to use in the background of the movie.
Yeah.
So I liked it.
Our final things here. We have our slap and tickle count, which ends at 54 for the 25 Eon movies.
I
Daniel Craig
really hope he's got a penicillin shot after
he
this.
really upped his game. And how many illegitimate children does he have that we don't know about?
I know. I seriously, I read one of the trivia items was about this is his first child that we know of. I mean, seriously.
So our Bond in a boat count was very Sean Connery heavy. So it stays at 10 unless the boat on the river Styx counts.
Right. Exactly. As he's crossing, you never know.
We have one more count that I added. Illegitimate child count, 1 known. Unknown? Who can say?
I know, right? Although, how many of the women he was with lived?
Yeah.
So there's, if we look that up, there's a fair amount who didn't make it.
And I will say this right now. Bottled and Bond will return. In honor of the James Bond credits, Bottled and Bond will return. Our next episode 0026, hopefully by 2028.
We can't give this up. I mean,
no.
You and me watching movies and talking about them, that's just a natural occurrence. Putting it on to tape, do you like how I work tape? Putting it on tape, that's just something we need to do because other people deserve to hear our insights on all of these things.
Well, in terms of Bottled and Bond, let's just say we've had some friends that have asked us for a very particular episode, and if I can clear it and get the blessing of a certain other podcast that I'm a big fan of, we will do it at some point. Okay. Stay tuned.
All right.
Before we sign off, I do want to thank our wives for tolerating us.
Yes, me too.
I want to thank our number one fans, Amy and Sean, who've listened and went along on this journey with us and bought us Bollinger. I mean, come on.
They're definitely our number one fans.
Yep.
Like, we owe a lot to them.
Yep. I would like to thank George, who has also been going along with us on this. He's another friend. Also want to give a huge shout out to the VHS Village. Like I said, Thomas, he sent us this email for this last one, and he's really been very complimentary, very nice to us on there. Several other people have. Our Conan Neutron, big fan of him. Listened to several of his different podcasts. Appeared on his podcast.
Very good.
A lot of people in the VHS Village that I really appreciate all your support. Anybody else you would like to thank?
Well, I'd like to thank Craig and Gavin, our English listeners, who have brought us the English perspective, corrected our pronunciation at several times, and definitely contributed some good, listener email and so forth. And I've had a lot of good time talking to them about their thoughts on the movies.
Nice. It is Leicester Square, right?
Or I think
is it
Leicester? No, Leicester. Leicester.
Leicester. It's Leicester.
That's what it is.
Okay. That'll do it. Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you, Mike.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Bottled and Bond. If you'd like to send us a message, you can do so at bottledinbondpod@gmail.com. Till your next briefing, pour yourself a drink, light a smoke, and find yourself a spirited companion. Goodbye.